Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to G2 Gaming with the Gandyman here, and it's time to talk about one of, if not the most anticipated game for the coming year that I have going into E3, and that is Ghost Recon Wildlands. And I've been looking at it, I've been studying it, I've been anticipating its release, probably more so than Division. I played the Division, I love the Division. I just got kind of bored with it, and so therefore I don't play it as much anymore. Actually, at all, really. I'm more so playing The Witcher 3 again now that the DLCs are all released. I didn't really want to play The Witcher 3 during, before Blood and Wine came out because I wanted to play it again all at one time. So I have that immersion into it. Anyway, Ghost Recon Wildlands shot to the top of my most anticipated list when it was released, or when it was revealed during E3 of 2015. Now, a little bit interesting, more so to the fact along the lines of like GTA and why those games were a little bit more anticipated for me. I've not played a Ghost Recon game. Alright, I've always wanted to. I like the idea of the co-op and stuff. Me and my brother love co-op, so me and my brother will definitely be getting this game and definitely playing this game co-op all the time, just like we did the Division. Now, that being said, a lot of people have questions about this game. I do. A lot of people do, like I just said. And the biggest question right now is, okay, we've seen all this great stuff. We've seen the reveal trailer. We've seen now this gameplay trailer that was released a couple weeks ago. And now we're seeing a couple more drops here and there about relative to the map size and what you can do with the classes, if there are classes, yada yada yada, if this is kind of more of an RPG or not. I don't think it is. Some people think it is. A lot of people that I have watched on YouTube don't think it is either. It'll definitely take away some things from the Division, simply because they're just too close together. I mean, it's a third-person action shooter. It is more of an open world than the Division, even though the Division was an open world. It really just was in New York City. This is going to be in every city in Bolivia. He's got the salt plains, or I think it's Bolivia. Anyway, he's got the salt plains. He's got all these jungle. I'm really excited for it, and I'll explain that why I'm so excited for it in a video that I'm planning on releasing, like top 5 anticipated videos video games that I'm looking forward to after E3. Because right now, my most anticipated list is like 2 or 3. It's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Final Fantasy 15. Even though I haven't really played a Final Fantasy game, that's on my most anticipated list right now because it does look really good. Anyways, enough blabbering. It's time to get into what this video is supposed to be, and that is my theory on when Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released. Now, I say my theory because this hasn't been confirmed yet, and a lot of people seem to be getting mixed emotions and mixed thoughts on when this game will be released. Since the first time I saw that trailer in E3 2015, I was like, okay, when's the release date? When's the release date? When's the release date? And nobody told us. And they didn't tell us then. They'll probably tell us at E3 this year, which I'm looking forward to, but we don't really have a good solid lead on when it'll be released because it hasn't been told to us, other than we know that it's coming out in 2016. And yes, it is coming out in 2016, barring any delays that it could have, which I am actually genuinely afraid of that, because their last 2 big games, The Division and Watch Dogs, have been delayed. Okay, not Watch Dogs 2 because that hasn't even been revealed yet, though we know it's coming out now. Anyways, Watch Dogs 1 and The Division have been delayed considerable amounts of time too. So unless there is a delay for this game, I'm expecting it to come out in 2016, and I'm getting ready to tell you when. Alright, but before I do, a lot of people are thinking Watch Dogs 2 is going to come out before this game, or whatever the fact may be. I talked to a lot of people in the video game industry. From my side, it's not these big news guys like from IGN or GameSpot or whatever, but a lot of people in my inner circle take a very big interest in video games, and a lot of people think that Watch Dogs 2 is coming out before this game. I don't believe that, and I'm going to tell you why. So, before we get started into why I think it'll be released before Watch Dogs 2, my anticipated release date for this game, for Ghost Recon Wildlands, is the exact same release window that they have for Assassin's Creed. Alright, and that is the end of October. So I'm expecting this game, Ghost Recon Wildlands, to come out anywhere between October 25th and November 1st. Alright, mainly because that is, again, when Assassin's Creed is usually released. Now, before I continue, Ubisoft is one of, if not, no, I'll say one of my favorite video game developers. They have burned me a couple times with these great and amazing trailers from Watch Dogs, from The Division, from all these other things, and I'm kind of afraid that that might happen with Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I'm not. We are strangers. I'm a little bit more hopeful because I think they're starting to hear their fans, and I think the fans are making enough noise, and the fact that they're tired of these great trailers and then the actual end product isn't up to par. Anyways, now it's time to talk about the 5 reasons why I believe Ghost Recon Wildlands will have a release date in that Assassin's Creed window of release between October 25th and November 1st. Reason number 1, and I've said this already, Assassin's Creed, and we all know this, Assassin's Creed is skipping a release date, or is skipping a release this year. Everybody knows that. I know that. You should know that if you're a very big follower of the Assassin's Creed fan and or of Ubisoft and or of video games in general. Okay, Assassin's Creed is one of the biggest franchises and open world games there is. All right, and so we all know that it's skipping this year. It's going to take place in Egypt apparently, and so that can take up what it will and all this other stuff. So that will leave a gap for Ubisoft, a pretty significant gap, because they always bring in the Assassin's Creed fans who love the series, who love all of that sort of open world, historical type thing. All right, so they always buy Assassin's Creed games. I always buy Assassin's Creed games. Now, because they're not going to release an Assassin's Creed game towards the end of October, which is usually when they release an Assassin's Creed game, they're missing that window, and they will not allow that window to be missed. Okay, so either Watch Dogs 2, if it does really come out then, will fill that gap, or Ghost Recon Wildlands will, and I think it'll be Ghost Recon Wildlands for a reason I will explain later. All right, reason number 2. Many people, therefore, think the Assassin's Creed game will be substituted out for the Watch Dogs 2. I think it'll be Ghost Recon Wildlands. The reason for this is Watch Dogs 2 hasn't even been announced or revealed yet. We know it's coming. YouTubers have gotten teaser packages saying, be aware or wait for the reveal. It's coming. Ubisoft has already been on record saying that they will talk about Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs 2 in some way, shape, or form during E3. I'm expecting it to be at the Ubisoft press conference, as it usually is anyway. Now, Watch Dogs 2, again, has not been officially revealed. Ghost Recon Wildlands, on the other hand, has been officially revealed. We've had now 2 trailers and a dev series on YouTube talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, the dev series hasn't been very frequent. The last one I think was made in like January. It might have been December. There could have been another one recently. I just didn't watch it or didn't know about it. But the last one that I remember watching was in December or January timeframe. Watch Dogs 2 doesn't even have a teaser trailer out. So therefore, this tells me they've been working on Ghost Recon Wildlands longer than they've been working on Watch Dogs 2. Therefore, Ghost Recon Wildlands is closer to a release date than Watch Dogs 2. All right, now I could be wrong. They might have closed off the audience to Watch Dogs 2 because of how disappointing Watch Dogs 1 was. Now, if that's the sense, bravo, good on you, Ubisoft, for not blowing Watch Dogs 2 up like you did Watch Dogs 1, like the original game. But until we see something of good development on Watch Dogs 2, which again I imagine we'll see in E3 this year, 2016. But until we see something, I'm going to assume Ghost Recon Wildlands is more developed, better developed, closer to a release date than Watch Dogs 2. All right. So we've got the revealed trailer for Ghost Recon Wildlands. We've got now the gameplay trailer for Ghost Recon Wildlands that was released a couple of weeks ago. And now, and we don't have anything from Watch Dogs 2. That's pretty big indication that Ghost Recon Wildlands, in my opinion, is more than likely going to be released before Watch Dogs 2. Moving on to reason number 3, Ghost Recon Wildlands still has a release date listed on their website for 2016. What is confusing about that? A lot of people that I talk to say, oh, Ghost Recon Wildlands won't be released until 2017, or at least later on in 2016. Well, again, if it's later on in 2016, I can understand that because their release date is still listed as a 2016 release date on their website. But Ghost Recon Wildlands has 2 trailers, all right? It's been at E3 already last year. It's going to be back at E3 this year, more than likely. I will be shocked if it's not back in a big way at E3 2016. Either way, Ghost Recon Wildlands has a release date on its website set for 2016. Watch Dogs 2, on the other hand, doesn't even have a website live yet. All right, that should also indicate where it is at on its development. Now, they do have a website. I would be shocked if Ubisoft doesn't have a website ready to go live the day of E3. All right, once they reveal it, that website's going live, and we'll know when or about Watch Dogs 2 will be released. All right, I don't think it'll be for 27. Or I don't think it'll be until 2017, and I'll tell you why, and I'll explain that in a little bit later. All right, and my next point. Again, Ghost Recon Wildlands has their website. It's been up for about a year now, almost a year in E3. Okay, so and it's been listed as a 2016 release date the entire time. Okay, so and the graphics and the gameplay video, Ghost Recon. That's another thing. Ghost Recon Wildlands has been more active recently in stuff in their social media and their announcements and stuff. Okay, we had a gameplay trailer released a couple weeks ago. All right, we've got speculation and more talk and speculation about the multiplayer and about the world map and all this other stuff that Ghost Recon Wildlands and their team has revealed to the audience, the interested audiences. Okay, so they're closer to being released than Watch Dogs 2. Again, that hasn't even been revealed yet. All right. Number 4, Ubisoft has mentioned that they aren't planning on releasing Watch Dogs 2 until closer to Q1 of their next fiscal year or whatever. Which means if my memory serves me correctly, the article that I read, which was on IGN, said before or by April of 2017. Okay, so that tells me, okay, yes, it doesn't disprove the fact that it could be released this year during the Assassin's Creed release window. The latest it will come out is April 2017. All right, so I'm expecting to see it either November of 2016, which I doubt will happen, or around the same time as Far Cry Primal was released this year, which was in February. Not before then. That's when I'm actually expecting it to be released. All right, which tells me, okay, Watch Dogs 2 has been in development for a while, probably since Watch Dogs 1 was finished. Okay, so they knew exactly where they were going to want to take it, or more or less where they wanted to take it. And then they changed things up more than likely whenever they heard the disappointment of the fans from Watch Dogs 1. So they've been working on it for about 3 years, I think. That's about right. I think that's when Watch Dogs 1 was released, 3 or 4 years ago. So they've been working on it for a while. They just haven't shown anything up. And if they're planning on releasing it between now and Q1 of their next year, I think it's fiscal year. It might not be fiscal year. It might just be 2017. Either way, it's probably further along in development than I even give it credit for because we haven't even seen anything. Now, we're going to move on to point number 5 and my final point. Watch Dogs underperformed, so people will be more cautious to pre-order and buy Watch Dogs 2 without reading reviews and watching reviews and stuff like that. Now, I'll probably pre-order it, especially if I like what I see at E3. Okay, I'll probably pre-order it. Won't get the collector's edition like I did the last time. As a matter of fact, Watch Dogs got a lot of money from me the last time it came out because I got the collector's edition for the PS3 and I got the version that they released for the PS4. All right, so they shelled out a lot of money that they will not get out of me this time. I'm not going to do a collector's edition because I was so disappointed in Watch Dogs 1. I almost wanted to get the collector's edition for Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I think I'll pass on that as well. Anyways, so Watch Dogs underperformed when it was released, so people are going to be more cautious to get Watch Dogs 2. Ghost Recon, on the other hand, has had multiple installments already. Okay, it had Ghost Recon, the original. It had Future Warfare or Future Soldier or whatever one it was called. Again, I haven't played a Ghost Recon game in my life. I've wanted to. Like, I love that co-op ability. I take that back. I think I remember playing a demo version of one of those games a couple years ago. Like, this was a while ago. Anyway, so Ghost Recon has had multiple installments and therefore probably a bigger fan base and a bigger following than Watch Dogs does right now. Okay, Watch Dogs was getting ready to have a pretty huge following prior to its first game's release because of how great it looked. The graphics looked great. The gameplay was sound and all this other stuff in the E3 trailers and revealed trailers and all this other stuff. So they got fan base. I mean, and there were some that really liked the game. I mean, I liked Watch Dogs 1 as well. I just didn't think it was as great as they said it would be. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, so this goes back to the point number 1 where there's this big opening that Assassin's Creed will leave if there's not a game to replace it. And again, because I think Ghost Recon might have a bigger fan base, might have a more loyal fan base right now than Watch Dogs, I think Ghost Recon Wildlands will be that game to fill in the Assassin's Creed gap. Ghost Recon hasn't screwed up as much as Watch Dogs 1 did, in my opinion. All right. Again, Watch Dogs 1 wasn't a terrible game. It just underperformed. I think a lot of people can agree to that. I think more people will go out and buy Ghost Recon Wildlands, especially off of the success of The Division. Now, some people thought that The Division was as big of a bust as Watch Dogs 1 was. I, on the other hand, did not think that. I really liked The Division and the beta gameplays, both the open and the closed beta, and I think it was very successful. I think I liked The Division better than Destiny, but that's just because I'm a third-person fan as opposed to a first-person fan. I will get all 3 of the games when they come in. I'll get Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'll get the new Assassin's Creed game when it's released. I'll get Watch Dogs 2 when it's released. All right? So I'm not saying one game is better than the other. I think that that Wildlands will probably be the better game for me than Watch Dogs 2 will be. But who knows? All right? They're both open world games, and I'm looking forward to both of them, though I am looking forward to Wildlands way more than I'm looking forward to Watch Dogs 2, simply because of the disappointment Watch Dogs 1 was. All right, so with that in mind, again, Watch Dogs underperformed. Therefore, not as many people are going to buy Watch Dogs 2. Ghost Recon Wildlands has a decent following, has a pretty good following, and it's been a while since a Ghost Recon game was released, okay? So, therefore, I think that fan base is eager for another one. I think that because Assassin's Creed won't be there, that budget that a lot of people have set aside for the Assassin's Creed will go to a different game. Now, it could be Watch Dogs 2. That could be Wildlands. All right. I just think that because Wildlands or Ghost Recon has performed better and performed more consistently than at this point Watch Dogs, the only game in that series, by the way, has more people will probably buy Wildlands from pre-order or from the actual release date than Ghost Recon or than Watch Dogs 2. Again, this is my theory for when Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released. I really do think it would be released. I don't think it'll be released much later. At least I hope not. I mean, my head can barely even. I'm just excited. I'm so excited just talking about it now that I hope it's not. I would love Ubisoft forever if they decide it's going to be released the week of E3, but that never happens. Okay, it very rarely happens. Let me put it that way. All right. So I think that Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released during that same release window as Assassin's Creed usually is. That's towards the end of October, between October 25th and November 1st. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me why you disagree or agree with my statement, whatever. All right, I want to hear feedback. I can't wait for this game. It's gonna be a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, adios and peace. Until next time.